back, everyone, to the LEC studio. Mad Lions are on match point in tonight's series versus Rogue. We'll be covering the draft for Game 3 right here at the Analyst Desk. We thought it would be a good moment to give the TriCast a bit more room to breathe after the previous one. First up, answer me this question. Out of the two teams, you know, what is their willingness to make this go to a similar game? Do you think, on the one hand, Rogue would be comfortable or confident in their ability to, with a team fight comp, actually win out if it comes to this again? And on the other hand, do you think Matt says, yes, come to daddy, like I want to play these team fights like this and I want to win in the mid game?
Yeah, I think Mad must be happier than Rogue with these drafts. I think it plays towards their strengths a bit. They do have slightly worse late game comp than Rogue on paper, but I think they're also fine like playing slightly worse team fight comp if their early game is also solid. So yeah. I think it's Rogue that has more pressure on them than Mad for sure. Yeah,
imagine you're playing and then behind you just see that you're down too and it's just like staring you in the back.
Yeah.
Of
Don't
your
look
head.
behind, just don't look turn around, guys, don't turn around.
Look in front of you and look at the draft. So do we think we're seeing any big adaptations coming now from Rogue who are on the blue side?
I think some of the things I'm looking for in the beginning is definitely what kind of stylistic are they taking, because I 100% agree with Treats as well. I do think these late game team fights are definitely favoring Mad Lions. So are Rogue going back to the style that we have known them for in the regular split, or are they going to continue to try and go for these later team fight compositions?
On a positive note for Rogue, they did show us two very different types of compositions and different champion pools in that regard. So Treats, is your expectation that they'll be in trouble necessarily in terms of versatility, or do you think they still have another look to show us?
I do think Rogue has another look to show us. I think it just depends what they feel, like how much confidence they have in their drafts, in their late game draft, because they can play an early game style and that's what we've seen them do the entire split. So it kind of depends on them how they feel with the last game, because it did not look like super horrible for them. It was just a few key moments here and there where Mad Lions just took over.
I also think now with Rogue going back to the adaptation of blue side, it's more the fact that, right, and also speaking of that, Rise band, very pivotal. I think it's back to the point where you won't blind pick Camille this time around. You are going back to the tank route because I think it worked better out for Odoamne, so either the Tam Kench is something that could come in again, but it does also mean that Mad Lions most likely will have that last pick going in for Armut now.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Rogue is going to look to first pick here, because I think they're happy.
Yeah.
Oh, TF's opened this draft, so they might just lock that in. Also, it's interesting because the junglers have prioritized Zhao in this series instead of Viego, which we've seen at some point. So TF gets locked in and we'll see what Mad Lions respond with.
Yeah, TF, I mean, it's a clear one that you have to go for if it is open. We've seen LeBlanc TF match up a couple of times now, but we're going to see the Ashe locked in and Lee Sin quickly over to Zhao for Elyoya.
Yeah, so Lee Sin coming through again, and I think it's very interesting between these two junglers, because we had times where Zhao, Viego for Inspire, just super broken champions, it felt like, but it seems like the comfort, or at least at the Lee Sin for Elyoya, the playmaking potential just means more for him, specifically because you don't have that early game you get out of the Zhao. You have that Lee Sin instead. That's also great for the team fight later.
Yeah, I think with the Jayce being locked in, it's kind of Rogue saying, okay, this time we're actually going to play topside ourselves. We're going to have the pressure on topside. And Mad Lions, you have to play on the back foot. So Humanoid locking in Silas. He's just saying that he wants to match the TF after 6 and have some kill pressure on mid lane. But this looks definitely like a different Rogue draft than what we've seen so far.
So going into second ban phase, you can choose to target Kaiser down now if you want to. The Rakan, Alistar, all these playmaking supports we've already seen him on in the series can be targeted up, but there is also the route of going up towards the top side if you feel like that instead.
I think Rogue is wanting to ban out some safe top laners for Armut now, so I think with Jayce being locked in for Rogue, maybe they look to ban some tanks that are decent into Jayce. Something like Mundo. I don't think Armut plays a lot of GP, so I don't think they'll ban that, but they might ban like Wukong and Mundo, for example, something like this. I mean, Armut has definitely a high priority on both Wukong and Laure, so maybe they just ban those both out.
I like what Mad Lions is trying to do here as well, because we've already seen Hansama and Trymbi pilot the Kog'Maw Lulu lane, and now when you have picked Twisted Fate, now do you have the Zhao and the Jayce to play for on the top side? That is an extremely strong top side to play for as well. So if Mad Lions is reading this correct, it seems like they're just waiting for the bot lane of Rogue to get a more weak sider approach this time around.
Yeah, I would say that Mad Lions, I'm not sure what support they look for, because it's kind of hard to play support into TF with Ashe. A lot of melee supports kind of get blown up by TF and can easily get ganked. So they might look for something safe, like a Braum, for example, for Mad Lions. I think Rogue will want to look for a more aggressive bot lane. Maybe not pushing 2v2, but that has a lot of kill pressure.
I think the Braum is a really good shot, also because they did opted in for the Rakan ban. As the last one, we all know Rakan does extremely well into the Braum due to Braum having a lack of instant CC as well. And Braum Ash in the past has just been this incredibly safe bot lane where you also get a lot of agency with the CC actually from these two coming out. So it wouldn't surprise me if that was the bot lane Mad Lions are looking for.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's locked in the end, and I think it's gonna be interesting now to see what bot lane Rogue opts into, because they kind of have the pick of the litter here. They can just choose whatever they want. If they want to go for something like, I mean, I guess Aphilos is banned, but they could still go for a late game carry like Xayah, for example. It's kind of up to them. Or they go for a completely lane dominant style, which if they have in the past as well with the Kalista. I would like that with the TF for sure, and go back to their roots a bit in this draft.
What did they pair it up with?
I mean, if they lock in this Kalista to come through, Alistar is still... No, you can't even go Alistar here, just due to the fact that enemy has Sylas, so it's actually going to be a tough one. You're definitely looking for more engage, I think, or disengage, so it's going to be interesting.
You know what I would like to see here? I would like to see a Jarvan, but I don't think that Trymbi plays it. But this would be a great Jarvan game into Ashe Braum. It's very hard for Ashe to play. I don't think Trymbi will play it, so maybe he'll just go Alistar anyway and just accept that Sylas can steal his ult, because Alistar looks pretty good in this game as well. It's the Leona, okay.
What do you make of that?
I mean, I think in general, Leona is always fine. It's like the base support that you can always pick, and it's never bad. So
yeah, but
I
the difference between fine pick or game-changing pick, but I guess the Sylas.
I think the Sylas is just too much to deal with. Obviously, the Solar Flare is still a big engage tool you can steal away, but that invulnerability on a Sylas, specifically with the CC coming through from a gold card or whatever other support that would be in general, like I just think it's too big of a threat. So that's what you have to go for.
He
does actually play Gangplank.
Nice,
would you look at that?
I think the GP is really good into TF. Anytime you can pick it, it's just a safe champion after 6, and you can match global with your own ulti, so I like that from Alliance. I think their comp is pretty well-rounded.
I guess it's not a question of, you know, obviously a top laner plays GP, but how good is it and how can he make it work in the team composition?
Exactly.
If we look at them holistically, how much has Rogue gotten out their blue side and how much has Mad Lions gotten out of their red side counter pick?
So I'm looking at a more traditional Rogue now, at least with the priority lanes that are coming through, but even with the Jayce coming through, I think when you lock in this Kalista and Leona, you are looking towards that bot lane, you are looking to influence that. Now, what I'm just looking at from the side of Mad Lions is the match from Humanoid. Can he continue this dominance he showed in the mid lane in a matchup where Larssen is going to look to influence side now instead?
Yeah, definitely. Rogue has more of their usual comp with a lot of side lane pressure, a lot of early priority lanes, and I think it's just up to Rogue now. They have to just make this snowball happen, because if they don't, then Mad Lions will take the 3-0 sweep.
They have to make it happen, and Rogue want to avoid that they have to play a Fnatic or a G2 to make it back to the finals. They are against match point versus the Mad Lions, and Rogue want to do to Mad Lions what they did to them in the spring finals and pull off the reverse sweep. We'll see what happens. I think I speak for everyone at home and everyone watching, even from the production staff in the arena, that we want 5 games. Let's go, Rogue and Mad, game 3.
So Mad's year, they started off with taking down G2 in a best... No, they took down Rogue in a best of 5.
Yep.
Then they took down G2 in a best of 5.
Yep.
Then they took down Rogue in a best of 5.
Yep.
This year, they started by... this split, they started by taking down G2 in a best of 5, and now they're at match point against Rogue.
Yep.
So their best of 5 trajectory this year has been win-win, win-win, and it's been Rogue G2, Rogue G2.
Yeah. Now we're against Rogue again. They've only lost one best of 5 this entire year, and that was against Damwon, the world champions, who they took to 5 games. Yeah.
I mean, the truth is that Mad Lions is clearly a best of 5 team, which is funny because last split we were talking about how many people wondered if they were an online team. Do you remember that? How last year, because they started their year playing, they actually started the split kind of poor, then it went online, they started overperforming.
Getting really good, beating G2.
And then they come back to the studio at the end of spring, and everyone's like, oh, maybe they're just an online team, and they've definitely proved that not to be the case. So let's jump into game 3.
And I think in this game 3, Armut's GP is the biggest surprise of this game. I think when they take away Jayce and they ban Wukong Malphite, Armut really had to reach for something. And I think this is his first GP game in 2 years on stage. And in that GP game he lost, and it was in the TCL, I believe. So it's been a while since we've seen Armut's GP. We'll be playing weak side, and I think the reason this GP was picked was because GP ult into Kalista is probably one of the most annoying spells for the Kalista. It's really hard for her to teamfight on top of a Gangplank ult.
I also like how the ultimate can like match the Twisted Fate because of the global.
All-in bot.
A bit of an all-in here.
Trymbi has the Zenith play. They're looking for the Winter's Bite, and Hans Sommer can't quite get it. There's concussive blows onto Trymbi, but Rend available, and that is a very dead Braum. The Chase is going to follow up here. Cleanse coming out. Hans Sommer going in. Carzzy flashing forward as well, and Carzzy will get one in response.
Always going to be worth for Rogue there. It just depends on the wave. If we could look at bot wave there, observers, it'll depend if it's pushing into whichever team. Looks like it's a good wave for Rogue. They're going to base. That's pushing into them. So they're going to be happy now. Inspired did 3 topside camps into topside, and he's fighting Elyoya. Zhao wins these.
So
he stopped it!
Whoa. That's the flash away. Inspire's going for the chase. Smite comes down. Elyoya could look to try and get away. Another safeguard will get him out. And now Armut's on his way as well, as is Humanoid, as is Larssen. Flash forward. It's gone down. Armut low, down to 200 HP. Humanoid trying to trade onto Inspired. Can't quite get the damage down. Rogue get another kill.
Wow, that was a scrappy fight. I thought that Armut and Humanoid didn't have the damage. Turns out they doesn't. Inspired just about gets away. Elyoya was stuck in the wall there for a second. I think he got cancelled on his Sonic Wave on the Q2, and then he ward jumped away. So all that starting from Inspired, doing 3 camps topside into the enemy topside of the map. Now there's all in bot in favor of Rogue.
Yeah, they're trying to leverage, Mad Lions are trying to leverage the Braum passive early on, but you can see that Hans Sommer gets the Hail of Blades passive back up and is able to stack up those Rend stacks very quickly. The cleanse then comes through. Good cleanse from Carzzy to be able to trade back at least 1 kill, but as you identified, the wave was not in a great spot. Then we transition up to this jungle play, and you can see that Inspired sees an opportunity.
Yeah, and it all comes down to pushing solo lanes. Elyoya knew something was up. Now the Q3 hits him on the Q2, so he gets knocked up. So Inspired gets an extra auto in, flashes to follow, Smite to survive the next auto, war jump away. Inspired has no more gap close. Now Humanoid just ignores Larssen and goes for it. He thinks they have the damage, full commit onto Inspired. Turns out that he doesn't.
He does not. It ends up being 3 versus 2. You could see Elyoya was looking for another opportunity to get back into the fight, but they were denied it. So Rogue now find themselves with a 1.5k gold lead 4 minutes into game 3.
Yeah, huge turnaround here for Rogue from the last 2 games now. The biggest winner of this, I think, all is Odoamne. Still has TP, still has potion, still has the push, and Gangplank Armut has no summoner. So this matchup that Odoamne needs to get ahead in terms of being able to be stronger and pushing out the side and being able to group first over the GP is going in his favor. And not only does he have that, but he also has the Twisted Fate ultimate coming up in 1-1 level from Larssen.
I like what Humanoid did there in the mid wave. He will be taking some damage. He's
Larssen
very low now.
Kill here. He has flash.
Exactly that. Inspired hovering around
back off. He's going to kill him here. He's got flash stun. Humanoid needs to be really careful.
Elyoya is waiting in the wings as well for the safeguard. Larssen does have that gold card locked in. Inspired takes away the Razor Beaks once again. Wildcards dodged to the side there by Humanoid.
Yeah, Rogue have pressure in every lane now. Win out of bot 2v2, ahead in top. You can see Odoamne can trade this aggressively and still have TP up. Inspired's top side. All 3 lanes are winning here for Rogue. 2k gold lead. Wow, what a turnaround.
Inspired, no flash. But he could look for the dive here, Vedi.
He is hovering. How long until the Twisted Fate reaches level 6 is my question, because we can see that he is close, but Inspired going for the dive.
Inspired going in, looking for the knock-up. Wind becomes lightning is enough. Odoamne takes the kill.
Easy does it.
Very easy. You can see that Rogue have a clear focus towards the top side of the map right now. They know that with the aggression that Hans Sommer and Trymbi were leveraging in the early laning phase is giving them advantages in the 2 versus 2. So let's just keep investing where we have leads. Larssen now hitting level 6 as Armut makes his way back towards top side. Larssen could look for an opportunity with his ultimate, but instead he's going to take the plates, look to reset, and Rogue find themselves with a commanding early game here in game 3.
Yeah, the whole map has fallen apart here for Mad Lions. That overcommitment in top by Humanoid has cost them so much, not only in lane phase, but in the fight itself. Trymbi, no flash, but TP from Odoamne.
They can turn it back in as Odoamne comes in for the fight. Kaiser low already. Odoamne looking for Carzzy as well. It's going to knock him back. No flash, no ability to get away. And what an explosive start from Rogue. 3,000 gold up 6 minutes in.
Great utilization of the teleport there from Odoamne, punishing the gank attempt from Mad Lions. You can see that they're kind of scrounging for anything at this point. Now Inspired is hovering around top. Larssen also has the ultimate available. Will he look for the play? There it is.
Destiny going up towards the top side. They're looking for Armut. He eats the oranges, but it's not K. He will fall as well. Larssen takes the kill. Meanwhile, in the bottom side, Solar Player was stopped on the way.
Trymbi
dodging to the side, but Elyoya will take him in the end. On Summer, almost gets enough damage down to rend Elyoya's life asunder, but can't quite do it.
Oh, Trymbi dodged away from the Leona ultimate. Actually didn't get stunned, didn't get slowed, and then dodged the chains. Doesn't dodge the third skill shot, which is the Lee Sin Q. And I thought Rogue was out of this series from the end of game 2. They lingered on stage for so long. No one was talking. You could see behind the scenes. Looked like Mad Lions were laughing and having fun. Looked like, in terms of mental state, Rogue were out of it, but they're definitely in it here. Hans is in trouble, though.
He's already used the cleanse, no way to get away from those concussive blows. Kaiser tanks up the tower perfectly, and Mad Lion's able to get a kill down towards the bottom
Armut.
side. Larssen goes in with the ghost, and the fighting continues. Armut underneath this tower, Larssen tanking it up. Not the best dive there from Rogue, as Larssen has to walk away.
They can redive it, though.
In the bottom lane, Trymbi's going to get dived here. They can redive him. Armut will fall. Trymbi down towards the bottom. Will manage to survive. Humanoid almost dies. Mad Lions now. Elyoya's just ticked over to 6. Could you look for the Dragon's Rage here? Can kick Trymbi away, and there's no minions there for him. Trymbi will survive. Mad able to get out alive.
What is going on? These dives are so clean from both sides. You can see how Elyoya lined it up with the Q ultimate to get out of tower range. Wow, everyone's diving everyone.
Okay, I thought we were watching game 3 of this match between Mad Rogue. I didn't realize we'd tune into a scrim game. The fact that both these teams have just been murdering each other for the last 8 minutes. The kills are 8-4 in favor of Rogue. They are ballooning this gold lead, and Rogue are doing a great job of just punishing the early flashes that were burned. They've invested so much towards the top side of the map. 2,000 gold to 3,000 in Odoamne. Just advantages all across the board in every position, except jungle. There's a little leave in this earlier.
Yeah, Mad Lions diving bot a lot there, and they did get themselves a couple of kills, but look at the gold. Hans is still up in gold. He's only down a little bit in XP, but he does hit level 6 now, so if you look at the flip side of that, the dives onto Armut, he's so far behind. Level 5, 2 levels down, so far down in gold. So Mad Lions, they found their clear win condition. They've given up Armut. He's weak side for the rest of the game, and they're forcing on bot side. That's ultimate.
Trymbi doesn't have flash, so looking for Hans Summer. There is the cannon barrage. Trymbi underneath the tower, they're able to get away. Rogue walk away from the gank.
Now that play is actually massive because the wave won't be able to crash for a dive just yet, and they've used the Silas Twisted Fate ultimate and the Gangplank ult to commit to that kill. They got absolutely nothing. Trymbi's still full HP. Be surprised to see Rogue just maybe stay under this bot tower. It would be a 2v3, but I think they're fine. Larssen's getting played to mid. They're getting Herald too.
Rogue is getting so much else on the map while the dive is happening. Humanoid, though, committing onto Larssen. His gold card should be up soon, and he's just going to walk that one away. He knows that Inspired is nearby, but Mad committing to the dive.
Still looking for the dive. Enchanted Crystal Hour is available here for Carzzy. The minions actually not taking up the tower as of yet. Trymbi underneath it by himself. He's looking for the Fate's Call range here. He's getting close enough to Hans Summer that he can just get Fate called away, and that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, Rogue are playing on 2 lanes, mid and top here. Mad Lions are playing on 1 lane in the bot side. They're getting themselves a lot of plates, and they're denying a lot of creeps from Hans, but all that's doing is putting bot lane back into an even state. Odo might have to be careful there. Humanoid's roaming up. Larssen has TF ultimate available, so he can match any play, and Inspired knows this game is fast-paced, and he's bought himself some swiftness boots.
Wow. It is insane how much the cross map has affected both sides. You can see that Rogue is just dominating towards the top lane with kills all across the board. Meanwhile, all of this vision is being invested towards the bot side of the map from the side of Mad Lions. Control wards, they've set up around the Drake. They have entrances to some of the river control, and they're just trying to shut down Hans Summer and Trymbi as much as they can. Level 6 has come through for Armut, now hitting level 7, closing the gap just a little bit, but he's always at a risk of a dive, and he has to be careful now that Larssen's ultimate is back up again.
Yeah, exactly. Look at the flip side for Rogue Division. They have 3 pinks up towards the top side. Ward onto Raptors. Inspired's on red. Has Herald too, so it's just going to be another cross map coming in. Mad Lions are going to get bot tower, but I think with this Herald, Rogue might be able to go for 2 towers top because there's no response. Larssen can match Humanoid, and unless Kaiser and Carzzy base, they won't be able to defend that tier 2. I think Rogue could just full commit here and just stare down the trade.
Yeah, Rogue off to such a strong lead here. 3,000 gold ahead, and a lot of that on the back of Inspired. Really showing up for the first time this series. He's had good games so far, but this is the first time we've really seen him take control of an early game, as he has done so many times through the regular season.
And interestingly, he's saving the Herald. I think he wants to use it mid and then move bot to defend Rogue. No Fate's Call this time around, so they're just going to force it.
They're looking for Trymbi. There's the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. As a support in this situation, you know your job is just to die. Hans Summer is able to walk away. Trymbi locked up with his own ultimate, and Humanoid will take the kill.
Is it worth it though? Because now Inspired and Larssen can go dive top after taking mid tower. They're going to get so much gold. Trymbi's not really worth much if you look at the full context of the map. Armut's dead as well.
I don't think Armut's worth much either. He is 0-3-0 right now, Caedrel.
Tier 2's falling as well. Wow, Rogue are going to get... He just dies.
He just dies.
Rogue are going to get 3 towers.
Are absolutely dominating this early game, and they're snowballing it out of control. 6k is going to be their gold lead after they secure themselves another tower. They've taken the mid tier 1, they've taken the top tier 1. I'm surprised we're not seeing the little record stats come up because these are insanely quick. first tower is taken down. So many plates have gone into the back pocket. And Mad, they didn't even secure the bot tier 1 yet. There's still a plate left alive. Larssen must have, he does have so much money.
when you int so hard, Boris takes money away from you.
It's the pirate life, man. You can only plunder so much.
There's only so much booty to be plundered, my hearties.
Oh my word.
Oh, it's so far behind.
Now, the good news for Mad is they got themselves a Drake. The bad news is they find themselves at a 6,000 gold deficit and level disadvantages all across the board. Armut level 7 to the level 9 of Odoamne, level 7 for Elyoya, 8 Inspired, 9 Humanoids, 10 Larssen. You guys get the point. It is absolute destruction. The question is, how do you move forward from here? Because Caedrel, we've talked about this on Euphoria. This is, I mean, it's early, but it's the idea behind Rogue Time, right? When you accelerate the game so quickly, sometimes those mid-game advantages, you can lose that focus, you can lose that ability to know what the next best play is.
Yeah, I think they have a clear objective in mind, though, and it's that bot tier 1. Jayce can push in and has TP whenever, so Rogue, all they need to do is just match the bot plays for Mad Lions, which they've been overcommitting for so many times, and they might do it once again. Mid-jungle's hovering. Mad Lions should know that they're covering this play because they're not showing topside. They're fishing for something, though, and they're just going to back off in the end. I think the most important takeaway for me this game right now is how exposed Armut has been in the draft. When you ban away 2 champions and take away his Jayce, his answer in this gangplank looks really, really rough.
I mean, in his defense, he used his flash at level 2, and then his mid laner died, and the person that got the kill was Inspired, and then he got dived. So I feel like that, while I agree with you, he hasn't been set up for success in this game either.
It doesn't feel like the gangplank pick itself is what's caused him to be 0-4 in lane.
Yeah, but I also think Mad Lions would have invested in bot side in the first place, so he would be weak side regardless. But anyway, Mad Lions still investing bot here. They're going to go for the dive. TP from Armut's coming in. Odoamne, sorry, and Larssen has ultimate.
Destiny coming in as well. The solar flare has been popped. Kaiser's going to try and walk away and up towards the top side. Bye-bye, as you say, Humanoid. Yeah, more like Zombioid as he is dead and has to go back. That was awful. I apologize for that one.
I get it, Humanoid.
Yeah, because he dies,
Good
right?
one, medic. Good one.
I'm going to talk now. So, Mad Lions forced off their bot tower. They're going to utilize the Gangplank ultimate to try and clear out the wave. Zombioid, I can't. Unbelievable. Right. 6k is the gold lead for Rogue. They're only continuing to accelerate this lead. The Twisted Fate ultimate is, of course, on cooldown for now, but that is, well, not quite the bot lane outer tower, but they will continue to focus that in while they pressure in these mid-waves.
Took all the small one.
And have a look at this vision that they have as well. They've got a ward up here, they've got wards here, they've got control over the river, they've got their jungler covering bot side. Basically,
Map hack.
the line that you're allowed to play along if you are the Mad Lions is like, you know, here. If you cross that line, you're at risk of getting killed.
Kaiser crossed it.
He's at risk.
He's playing risky.
Dude.
He is. But that's Kaiser's specialty, isn't he? He's always behind enemy lines.
But Rogue are almost at a 7k gold lead, and their next objective is bot tier 1. I think what you're going to see now is Hans is going to push in top, move mid, Larssen's going to push in mid, move bot, and because there's no tier 2 mid, he can push it into a tier 3 at 15 minutes in the game. So Carzzy will eventually have to
Look
back
at this
bot.
cover as well, Trymbi and Inspired.
It looks
right
like
behind him.
Rogue's doing something different here. Now, traditionally, bot tier 1 would be the objective, but instead, they're giving Mad Lions bot tier 1, and they're going to take a top tier 2 because of the recent changes. It's always really going to be worth it, and they can force Armut off the waves as well. So instead of matching Mad and forcing and stopping them from being able to make a play, Rogue just want to accelerate on different sides of the map.
No freezing allowed today. And they're going to secure that
Global warming.
tier 2 tower.
You call it climate change these days, Caedrel?
Okay. Climate change.
Yes.
No freezing.
No freezing, as you say. At the moment, Rogue perhaps thawing some of the issues that they had earlier in the series. Mad Lions winning the first 2 games, of course. Rogue now in a commanding position in this game, 7,000 gold ahead. And we have a little laugh and a joke, but for the moment, Rogue continue to do everything they need to do to put 1 win in their victory column. Question is whether they can maintain this through the rest of the series, or even if they can maintain it through this game, because as you said, Vedi, we have seen Rogue make mistakes in the mid-game before.
I mean, unless Caedrel disagrees with me. Oh, hang on, TP flank coming in.
Humanoid looking for Odoamne. Odoamne does.
Oh, the arrow's going to hit him!
Oh, Everfrost into arrow! We got a veritable William Tell on the rift here as Carzzy, hits it from downtown. Elyoya will get the shutdown onto Odoamne.
What a shot.
What a shot. Beautifully played from Mad. They get themselves a pick, they get a little bit more gold in their back pocket, and most importantly, they get some control over the bot side of the map. With the Drake spawning in 6 seconds time, they will be able to continue to mount those up as Larssen's looking for another pick.
This is not very fair, is it? Armut's 1 versus 4. He's just going to emote, stunned up, and bye-bye.
I mean, it's payback. you know, you hit our top laner with an Ash Arrow, I'm going to hit your top laner with a gold card. Yeah. Both permanently CC'd and both dead.
I like it. I like it a lot. Mad Lions are getting a dragon though. That's going to put them with 2 dragons. So a soul win condition for Rogue is far, far away. And I think that Rogue will not be playing for dragons this game, maybe just to deny the third one. The soul point, whatever it may be, Infernal or Cloud from Mad Lions.
We'll have to see what it is as the Cloud comes up, and I think Rogue breathe a little sigh of relief as well. Of course, as you say, they can just play for that third dragon. They do have a 6,000 gold lead, but that has gone down. That has shrunk by about 1,000 since the last time I mentioned it. So we'll have to see.
Has it?
Yeah, it was 7,000 last time I said.
Oh.
It shrunk by about 1,000.
And how much gold was Odoamne worth? It was roughly 1,000.
Yeah, it was about 1,000.
So that's it. They're going to
just kill 6 Odoamnes and the game is even.
Well, not anymore. He's lost his bounty, and the Pyro wasn't able to claim it. Bot tier 1's going to fall. Rogue are at 5 towers and 70 minutes into the game. This is ridiculous, because on top of that, they have a Herald too. So if they can control bot side, they can Herald bot tier 2. And it could be 6 towers before 20 minutes. Rogue, full control right now. Just want to push Mad Lions back so they can walk into this jungle and get some deep vision.
I mean, from a position like this, it feels like that it is Rogue's game to lose. They have been in positions like this before. You only have to think back to the final, where Rogue and Rogue actually had an even larger gold lead from what I can recall.
10,000, I think it was.
And they still ended up losing. Ironically, they had a similar composition to this, where they had the Rise rather than the Twisted Fate. They did have, I think it was a Renekton as well, but they were basically looking to try and play through the sides. They had a lot of globals that they could look to attack side lanes with, and they kept grouping up and they kept fighting.
Yep.
I think that what we need to see from them is the continuation of Larssen's ultimate. I think he's been very proactive in this game so far, constantly been looking to mainly punish Armut, but that's our expectations. Rogue, of course, the game has slowed down just a little bit because there are no easy objectives for them to secure, with tier 2 in mid gone, tier 2 in top lane gone, constantly stealing away jungle camps and no Drake on the board, and no Baron for a minute and a half. I imagine that the priority right now is just getting deep vision, stealing whatever camps you can, and continuing to get that far.
Yeah, and Herald the bot tier 2, they still have it, and they've been poking around here. Elyoya stand up.
Destiny coming out as well across the wall. Elyoya is going to try and get away, has the safeguard, but is rooted in place still. The gold drinker heals him up just enough to get himself out to safety.
I think that's enough though for Rogue, because now they can push in this wave and herald it. I think Elyoya will have to base no kick, no flash. Hans is in mid, but I think with a 4-man strong unit here, they're not really afraid of a GP TP behind him or anything of that sort, so this tier 2 might fall unless Mad Lions fancy themselves a fight. Hans is on the way.
It's only going to be the Rift Herald charging in, no minions here right now, smited away, and the Rift Herald will get killed off. Rogue 5 members strong down towards the bottom side. Are going to force Mad Lions back, and with the wave coming in now, the cannon barrage used to clear it out. Kills off all the minions, and Rogue will have to retreat.
Yeah, Mad buying time very well there. Gangbang ultimate to clear out the wave. Armut can hit this top tier 1 for a little bit unless Rogue want to invest a TP to stop him. So you're completely right, Vedius. The game slows down, like we talked about in Euphoria. When tier 1s and tier 2s fall, it becomes a lot harder in the early stages of the game to start sieging onto them. Looks like Rogue is just going to send Odoamne top. He has TP to rejoin the team, and they're going to keep forcing on this bot tower. No GP ult, no Lee Sin kick flash. Not really too much to be afraid of other than an arrow.
Exactly. I mean, there's no reason for them not to keep the siege going, right? At worst, they end up losing something like a tier 1 tower in either top, and I mean, they're not even going to lose anything mid, but Man's now trying to force a play.
From GP.
Stun's going to land on Trymbi there with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow as well. Fate's Call's going to bring him out. Armut looking for the barrel chain. I've seen Bin do it before, but Armut doesn't quite have the damage. Trymbi falls first. Kaiser just about able to get away, but in the end falls as well. Hunsummer with the Immortal Shield, but Odoamne TPing in. And this Jayce is doing a huge amount of work, but can he do enough? Because Larsen's a new target. Flashes away. Odo diving forward. It's a double for him, and Hunsummer across the wall will kill off Carzzy. Humanoid going back in. Now he's in a 2v1. What can he do against Hunsummer and Larssen? The answer is walk away.
I would say that that was a pretty good fight, all things considered, for the Mad Lions. They end up trading 3 for 4. They're going to get a bunch of shutdowns as well. A lot of gold is going to be put into their back pocket. And I think that as far as opportunities go, this is the best one that they could find.
Yeah, 100%. They catch out Hans, they catch out Trymbi, so it's almost like a 2 versus 4, 2 versus 5. Armut full commits with the flash over the wall, but Odoamne is the man of the fight here. TP's in. Carzzy flashes away from the cube, but they all stack up for the shock blast. He's just free hitting it whatever he wants because Mad Lions are trying to force Larssen away. And I think a 3 for 4 trade is probably worth it, like you said, for Mad Lions, if you consider shutdowns and the fact that Rogue don't get an objective off of it. It's actually a fight that helps them hold on, because if they didn't go for it, they'd have lost that bot tower.
And I was talking about how I like that Rogue is just continuing to siege in the bot lane, because I think that, you know, there's not much that you could lose here. And then, of course, I underestimated the fact that Mad Lions is always going to look for an opportunity to fight their way back into the game, and they found a good one. The bad news for them is while they did get a decent number of shutdowns, you can still see that they are still about 6.8k gold behind. So it hasn't really shifted the gold momentum that much, and they're still quite far behind.
Yeah, Rogue, they have a pretty good Baron with the Kalista, of course, because you can easily secure it with the Smite, with the Rend. It's all about getting the setup first. Odoamne, you know, has no TP. Larssen has no TP either. It looks like Odoamne should be able to pick up this bot tower, as Armut will trade it for the top one. Mad Lions just trying to get some kind of vision around the map, and the Cloud Dragon's up, but it's not really Rogue's priority, so you can see they might go for it to just deny the objective itself from Mad Lions, but I think contesting this Baron vision is higher on the agenda. TF ultimate used to get some vision to push them out. I don't think there'll be a play made here unless they decide to commit to it. Odoamne no TP, so it would be hard.
Yeah, for the moment, Mad Lions are going to be able to walk away, but what a great fight back this has been from Rogue in this game. Mad Lions, after winning game 2, I thought it was going to be a pretty much golden arrow for them. The arrow coming out, it's going to hit onto Inspired. There's the cannon barrages as well. Humanoid going forward. Everfrost comes out to the Crescent Guard as well. Inspired trying to get away, but he's going to get locked up with the concussive blows. But he's outside of range. Carzzy can't get the damage down, and the turnaround is coming out on Summer on the killing spree now. They're looking for Odoamne. That's 3. Trymbi goes back in with a base call. It could be 4 for Mad Lions. And 7,000 Humanoid behind! Humanoid finds the kill!
How do they keep getting away with it? Mad Lions are 6, 7, 8,000 gold down, but they still are winning team fights 3 for 2. They're gonna get this dragon and put themselves on Cloud Soul Point, despite being so far behind and having barely any towers.
At a deficit like this, I can see the team laughing on stage. Their spirits are high. They are keeping their confidence up even from this position, and they are looking for plays. And it's as simple as using the arrow to get themselves a pick. They have the GP ultimate to collapse. The Twisted Fate can't join the fray in time, and this is just a big opportunity for Mad to find a fight with a numbers advantage.
It's such a smart decision to go for this fight, because Twisted Fate, Larssen used his ultimate to spot Mad Lions out. When that faded, and they realized, hang on a second, he's just based to regain control. Guys, let's just group 5-man and go on whoever goes for this next midwave. That's exactly what they do. Odoamne's bot with no TP, Larssen has no TP to match the ultimate, and Mad Lions are laughing, they're cheering, and they're getting kills, and they're getting themselves back into this game. But as I say that, they're still 7k gold down roughly, so...
Who cares? It's Mad Lions!
They don't care about
really
gold,
don't.
do they?
Can we please have a look at the gold to the individual players? Because obviously the top lane difference is huge, but look at the mid lane difference. Also, actually,
Huge.
also
Also pretty huge.
Also,
yeah,
okay, yeah.
Bot lane difference though, only 1,000.
Only 1,000, so that's the good news. Can we have a look back at the items? Because I think that'll give a little bit more context. So you can see 2 items done for Humanoid, obviously still an item behind Larssen, but working towards his 3rd completed. Now with the Starix finish for Armut, he's not just dead weight. He can actually offer some HP, offer some damage, and you can see the 2nd item being finished for Carzzy. Itemization-wise, Mad is not in as a bad spot as the gold represents.
Very true, and they are, of course, fighting for that spot in the finals. Both these teams already qualified for Worlds, but winning this series means you do not have to play another series next week. You only have the finals. Mad Lions, of course, are current LEC champions after they beat Rogue in spring.
Also means you dodge the planes as well. Planes can be a good and a bad thing, but for Mad Lions, after having such a long year and all the public sentiment and things that they've said about burnout and all that stuff, I think skipping planes would always maybe help them out, give them a little bit more time to breathe and relax before going into such a major event. And something we've missed, chaps, is the fact that Elyoya's died this game.
He did.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring it up. It made me a little bit sad, I'll be honest.
Sad. 2 deaths in the whole series so far. Mad Lions still backs against the wall, still 7k down. Rogue still in control, but it feels like Mad Lions are throwing punches here and there to keep them in this.
Punches, they're throwing bloody haymakers, mate. They're every opportunity. You just like, you open a door and you know, like if you have a sibling, you know, and you're like going, you try and pick up the remote and then your sibling is like, I'm watching something, and then a fight just starts, you know what I mean? That's what this is.
Yeah.
It's that representation.
Yeah, I see it, but hang on, Hands might not see it because here comes
Elyoya
It's another haymaker.
going in as well. He's going to have the Zenith Blade here. He's going to lock Elyoya in place, and there's the Destiny coming out as well. They kick back on Summer, but he dodges away from the barrels. And now here comes the Caedrel. Misses on Summer off towards the side. Meanwhile, Odoamne on the back line, Humanoid low. Pumps a stopwatch of his own. It's a 5v5 brawl in the top side. Haymaker after haymaker landing here, but it's Rogue coming out on top. They win round 1, they win round 2, and they win a 3rd as Carzzy falls. Now the TP coming in behind as Armut is all on his lonesome gold card locked in. Armut locked down, and Rogue will pick up their 4th kill of the fight.
Vedius, just like in Dungeons & Dragons Rogue, say, give me that remote, and they steal it out of your hands, and now they're gonna get a Baron. Mad Lions try to go for it, they grasp for kills, Hands had both sums up, they turn the fight. Rogue
solidifying this game now.
So much props needs to be given to Hans and Trymbi because it was they who was being attacked and it was they who bought time. But Elyoya is alive. He does have smite.
No chance, right? No chance at all.
Larssen going in with the gold card, and Elyoya's running away from him. They gotta stop this soon. Sonic Wave's about to come back.
Inspired's about to die.
Oh,
There's
the
no way.
coming in. Elyoya goes in for it. Oh, he doesn't quite get it as Rogue. Get it. Humanoid going back for the fight as he gets the Everfrost onto Inspired. He's got one. He's looking for two as Odoamne up towards the top side. Larssen locks in the gold card. Crescent guard used by Humanoid to keep himself alive. Kaiser on his way as well, but Mad Lions will back away as the arrow TP as well. He missed, but Odoamne's back was stopped. Odoamne's going to jump onto Kaiser here.
Whoa, the damage!
That damage!
He could try to base here, but I think he's pincered from every angle.
Run,
He's going to
run!
die no matter what. Armut, hang on, he gets the Eclipse up. Does he have the knockback? He does have the damage! Armut gets it.
Okay,
But wait, 45 seconds on the Cloud Soul. Mad Lions might be able to just base and run there straight away. They have the respawn timers on top of Rogue.
Odo has no TP.
He has no TP, but he did do a lot of damage in that last fight. Wow, what a bloodbath. In a game that now is 10k gold lead for Rogue, we still find ourselves with, what is that, 38 kills overall? Oh man, they just do not know how to give up. And now Rogue looking for a pick.
Elyoya trying to get away. Zenith Blade will block him up, but not before he can safeguard across the wall. And it is crazy that it's so bloodthirsty, so blood hungry, especially since Rogue have been consistently a team that gets an advantage and slowly suffocates their opposite members out of the game. Larssen stepping forward here.
Mad Lions going to try to contest this. Odoamne's up. They should know he has no TP. They have to go now.
Solar Flare onto Hans Sommer. There's the cannon barrage as well. Hans Sommer uses the cleanse. The arrow's going to land onto the front line. Larssen still alive, has the stopwatch, has the stun card, but Inspired pops his own stopwatch. Solar Flare misses off the back line. And how the freak do Mad Lions keep winning these fights?
It was a 4v5 and Mad Lions knew it. They knew that Odoamne could not get to the fight, and without his damage, Mad have a much better chance of securing the team fight win. They know they can take the fight. They chain the CC together. They lock Hans Sommer up, and they come out the victors once again.
But Vedius, do you know who else knows it's a 4v5 Rogue? Your top laner's in base with no TP. Why are they even walking up to contest the choke? Inspired's running Boots of Swiftness. He's against the Sylas Ash Brown with barely any tenacity. Maybe he has some in runes, but he just gets chain CC'd. He gets locked up and he just dies, and then Humanoid can start to move forwards. Rogue with a team comp of stun cards from TF with Rapid Fire and the Callista. They just want to pick off targets one by one. But when there's a huge group of Lions running at you, they have to back away.
I feel like the pressure is getting to Rogue. You've got to remember that in this position, Mad is 2-0 up in the series. You can see that their faces are still very relaxed. Even though they're in this position, they're still fighting, they're still making plays. Whereas Rogue, the weight of the finals still sits in their mind. The fact that they've been in this position before, they don't want to make that mistake. And every small mistake has to add up and weigh on your mind.
Spring round 1, Mad Lions 1-3-1. Spring finals, Mad Lions come back from a 10k gold deficit to beat Rogue once again. And here, Rogue, who are in the lead, who are 10,000 gold ahead once again, lose a team fight. And the question you have to ask yourself is if in Rogue's mind, Mad Lions are their kryptonite now, are this team that they just cannot overcome.
It's crazy to me that we're actually saying Mad Lions might win this game. They've been down 7 to 10k gold the whole game, but they're staying in it somehow, and they have themselves a Cloud Soul out of nowhere despite having 3 losing lanes. And the fact that Rogue had Baron, and the Baron was in the negatives in gold lead and deficits, Mad Lions managed to weather the storm, win the fights, and now 10k gold down, 8k gold down, whatever it is, they don't care.
When Mad woke up this morning, they chose violence.
Yep.
And that has been their approach in this entire series. All they want to do is fight you, and they're so creative in finding ways of finding the fight. Armut now level 16, by the way. 3 items completed after the early deficit that he found himself in, has managed to wrangle some gold and items and is now much more relevant in the game. His ultimates have been a huge factor in helping Mad Lions find these picks. And with the Cloud Soul, that ultimate, along with so many other valuable ultimates, are going to be up and ready for Mad Lions to look for picks.
I think the important thing that we make sure you understand is Rogue should win this game.
Yeah.
They are far enough ahead that even the Cloud Soul doesn't really matter too much. They have 4 items on their top laner, they have 4 items on their mid laner, they've got 3 items on their AD carry. They are in command of this game, but consistently over the last 10 minutes or so, it has been Mad who have either been coming out even or on top in fights. Rogue, if they play the way that we have seen Rogue play so many times before, should close this out and we should be going to game 4.
Look at bot lane, they're trying to get a collapse onto Odoamne. He hasn't been spotted out though, and he has the
Should be fine.
shield as well,
That's
so
TP.
he's totally fine. He's going to be able to disengage from that one.
Yeah, and although it's such a big gold deficit, just going back to it one more time, it really doesn't feel like it just looking at the items.
Right.
You know, Humanoid has 3 items with Rabadons, Larssen has a rapid fire over that, but then again, full stacked Dark Seal with a Fiendish Codex, right? It just feels even. 80 carries, yes, Hans has a GA, Carzzy has a Zeal. It's just really small to see.
Can we look at the gold once again? Because of course, like, there's
Don't
going to
do
be
it, it's going to be a fight.
But look, the top
Almost a
you're
4k
right.
gold lead in the mid lane, but Larssen's barely
There's
ahead
the
one
ammo.
item.
It's Trymbi. There's the cannon barrage as well. Rogue immediately on the retreat. Odoamne off towards the flank, and that is the engage possibility from Mad Lions down. But look at the damage. The solar flare coming out as well. Claims used. Larssen going out. Fate's call brings Trymbi back. Mad Lions haven't taken a lick of damage. They haven't taken anything. And Rogue are just retreating and retreating and retreating, but never going back in.
Rogue didn't actually do anything in that fight. That was all Mad. And at first, I was thinking, okay, this is actually a great position for Rogue because they've been able to weather the initial engage.
Yep.
They soak the Ash Arrow, they soak the Gangplank Ultimate. But then I think it was a barrel that came through that did like a huge chunk of damage onto 3, and then the Solar Flare came through.
Yep.
And then you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. You think that initial engage is gone, but then Mad continue it. They secure themselves the tier 1 tower, what, 32 minutes into the game? And they've still got a lot of fight left in them.
But I think Rogue are facing this kind of problem that we've been talking about the whole series, where now they're the ones with the single target damage, and they don't have a Kaiser Alistar to look for a flank that can set up the carries to kill them, to be able to move forwards. They're against so much AoE spells, arrows, brown ults, GP ults, and you're playing Kalista. Hans needs to get in range to hit someone, but Mad Lions won't let them. Rogue might just force it anyway.
Arrow is back up here for Carzzy. He's slowed. Trymbi looking for the Zenith Blade, lands onto Carzzy, there's the cleanse, flash away. Humanoid going back in, looking for Hans Summer, but can't quite get onto him. Kaiser not with the team right now, Inspired diving forward, Hans Summer low, but has the GA to get it back. The arrow goes onto Larssen straight away, and he's dead before he can even get the stun card out. And somehow the Lions have brought it to life. It's all Hans Summer, as you say, Immortal Shield Bow, keeping him alive. Humanoid unable to land the outside, Odoamne dies as well. Mad Lions somehow are winning these fights.
The Mad Lions just do it again. It is just a rematch of the finals, and they fight their way back. Elyoya gets a kill onto Inspired. The Baron is up, and it does not matter if they are 10k gold down. Mad will find a way.
Yeah, they're going to get Baron here. 35 seconds on Odo. They're going to have full control of this game. They get the Baron, they base, and Elder Dragon's up in 40 seconds time. Kaiser again in this fight blocked so much damage, bought so much time alongside Humanoid, who would have taken away Inspired's ultimate. Watch them in the fight. They blocked so much of the initiation from Rogue.
It just feels like desperation from Rogue. They're just trying to force the fight. They see Kaiser split up. Carzzy's patient. He flashes out from the engage and then the re-engage from Mad.
Yeah, Humanoid buys so much time. Hans trying to get in range to hit him. Then look at Kaiser, jumps in front of his whole team, puts up the shield, blocks everything that remains from Rogue. One shock blast, but the arrow onto Larssen. One target singled. Mad Lions take him down, and Hans, he's so short range, he can't get into range of an Ashe, a GP, one slow, and he's out.
Unbelievable. Now the Elder is up. Mad have position over it. And Rogue, they've lost so much, and they may very well lose this series.
Here's the Destiny. Odoamne isn't there. Oh, sorry, Inspired isn't there right now. The Elder Dragon down to 6,000 HP. Take a breath, take a second, because Inspired's on his way. And Rogue, this is your final chance to fight the fight. Odoamne caught out. Odoamne down. Inspired looking for the Elder Dragon. So it's still at 2,000 HP, and Mad Lions don't give a shit about it anymore. They kill off Trymbi. They're looking for Inspired as well as in the pit. And Elyoya takes it. Elder Dragon secured. And Rogue, you just cannot beat this team. Spring round 1. Finals in spring, and once again in the King's match, Mad Lions dethrone Rogue.
Yeah, it looks like they should be able to end here. Larsen's the last one standing. No global, no TP, pushing in bot. They have a wave. They're just going to play with him. They're taunting Larssen at the end of this best of 3. It's going to be a 3-0 for Mad Lions. 30 seconds on Rogue. Thumbs up from Larssen. He knows it's done and dusted.
Mad Lions with one of the greatest comebacks I have seen this year. They make their way to finals.
How do they keep getting away with it?
A 3-0 from a deficit like that. It all started with that bot lane fight. That one opportunity where they set up the TP flank with the GP. They came in from behind. They were able to find the collapse, and they ended up trading, what, 3 for 4? They got a bunch of shutdowns, but that was the beginning. When items started coming through,
beginning of the end.
They did not relent. And again, it was a situation where I feel like Rogue kept opting into these fights. They kept getting caught in positions that they didn't want to fight, but then they get forced into it anyway.
Mad Lions. They look unstoppable at this point. 3-1ing G2, 3-0ing Rogue.
Best team in the league.
They're dismantling absolutely everyone, and they've shown different playstyles. They lost 5 towers in 17 minutes. They were 8k gold down, and they won the game.
That's their comfort zone, man, clearly.
That's their comfort zone. Take my towers, I'll take your Nexus. Great offer.
My word. I mean, like, I don't think I've ever seen that many Ashe arrows in a single game, by the way. Whenever I see Ashe arrows, I'm always thinking like, oh, you know, like they get a couple picks here and there, but these guys, when it was off cooldown, Ashe arrow after Ashe arrow, absolutely insane.
Of course, Rogue, on the other hand, do still have a chance next week to make it to finals. They'll play the winner of Fnatic G2, and you can see how difficult that game was for Rogue. Game 2 especially, we saw Hans Summer with his head in his hands here. Trymbi also having a difficult time on stage after the series. They have another shot, they have another opportunity, but today they were just outclassed by Mad Lions.
And then for Rogue, you have to feel for them, right? They look so strong in regular splits, but everything just seems to fall apart in best of fives, whether it's a mental thing, whether it's a team-wide thing, something is going wrong and something's making them fall apart.
Whew. Okay, well, we have to talk about Kia Player of the Series. You can go vote at LEC on Twitter. Your options are Elyoya, Humanoid, and Kaiser.
Kaiser!
It's actually really difficult, because Elyoya did go the first 2 games deathless.
True.
As a rookie in his
I think
it
the vote should be Humanoid Elyoya or Kaiser. That should be the vote. The mid-jungle or support.
The dynamic duo or Kaiser. I would go for Kaiser personally. I think he had an incredible... And he basically won them game 1 and game 2 with his flanks. So, great stuff.
It was really impressive. Yeah. Such an impressive series from the Mad Lions. And of course, Rogue will have another opportunity, but while Mad continue to be undefeated this year domestically in best of fives, Rogue are still struggling to conquer their kryptonite.
And it's been all year long that they have this problem, and now they have 1 week left to fix it before the next best of 5.
And they have to fight G2 or Rogue.
G2 or Fnatic,
Fnatic, yes.
Whew. Well, we'll see if they can do it. Of course, tomorrow we do still have that G2 Fnatic match, but we'll soon hear from Humanoid before Mac and Armut join us in PGL. As we go to a break, let's have a preview of that series. G2 versus Fnatic. I called it.
You ruined it. You ruined everything. You ruined
What's
it.
new? What's new?
Sport is not a sport.
Hey guys, it's not a sport.
Okay, wrap it up. It's not a sport.
It's over, no goodbye.
Not a sport? Huh? Who gives a shit? Welcome back to the LEC. Get ready for the match of the week in the battle.
The systems are overloading. We can't risk another game.
We need to take a break and regroup.
We're starting to lose our mind. Captain, we cannot go back to Elo Hell. Last time it took us months to get out of it.
Initiate break protocol.
Hurry up!
Yes! Yes! I did it! We did it! We did it!
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Welcome back to the LEC. This will be a back-to-back finals for the Mad Lions and Humanoid. Congrats on reaching finals once again. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
I thought we would get to game 4, honestly. What happened mid-game and how did you come back from this one?
I mean, I think Rogue doesn't really know how to finish a game when they're ahead. So, I mean, usually when we play them, we just try to stay calm and scale because they will make a mistake. And once we reach like the late game, our team comp is pretty good since we have a lot of zone control and Kalista TF can't really play the game.
Yeah.
And yeah, once we like won a few fights, from that point they can't really win anymore.
Yeah, we know that team fight, especially mid to late game, is your comfort zone. But when I look at the draft for game 2, for instance, it looks like Rogue tried something different, going more for late game scaling rather than strong early games. What did you think of this adaptation and how they were playing around this strength?
I mean, for sure, these kind of drafts are easier to play when you have the Orianna and you just scale into late game. And we were in a winning position for sure, even in the second game. And then we threw it a lot. So usually when you play this early game against late game, it's on us to make a mistake rather than them, having to force some plays. So, and we made a few mistakes. That's why the game went so long. Yeah. But yeah, I think we were for sure in a winning position as well. And yeah.
For sure. And I want to talk about your performance and the champions that you picked, the priority you put on the rise. First rotation red side and first pick blue side during the second game, and then they banned it the third time around. How strong is the champion? How strong are you on the champion? And why do you think it suits so well with the Mad Lions team comps?
I think Ryze is really strong because of the junglers that are met right now. All of the 3 main junglers, Larssen, Zinza and Viego, fit really well with Ryze with the point-click CC. And yeah, he has a lot of prior early game and he can roam a lot. And yeah, I mean, if you get to late game, he's not that strong usually, but early game he can pressure a lot of sidelines and make a lot of stuff happen, so that's why he's good.
Yeah, it was a power pick here for sure in this series, and I like how they adapted, especially in game 3, banning the champion, going for the Twisted Fate, forcing you to pick Sylas. What do you think of their adaptation and what you had to do here in this draft?
I mean, I think in the last draft, I think our draft was a bit better, because I think they have Zinza and Leona and I have Sylas, so I have already 2 really good ults and I have 3 laning phase. And yeah, if we don't fight early game, which we did and lost, then yeah, once it gets to mid game, they should not really have that many choice to play. But for sure, their draft is better early game, but yeah, then falls off a bit.
Yeah, it went your way anyway in this game, but I want to talk also about your performance throughout the whole season. You were, I want to say, maybe the best performing player for Mad Lions during the whole summer. Here you were popping off completely. How strong do you feel right now, Humanoid?
I mean, I think I'm playing pretty well right now. Yeah, I mean, I like playing the game now, which usually doesn't happen, but yeah. I think I'm improving every single split, and now, yeah, I think I'm at my best, and I feel really comfortable playing against anyone right now.
Peak Humanoid as we get to Worlds. Do you feel like you're going to win the finals next week, and why makes you think so?
I mean, I would say that we should be the favorites for sure, since we already beat both G2 and Rogue in many best of 5s. So for sure, the confidence is there, but we can still lose, since most of the times the series are close.
We'll see how it goes, and you have time to analyze your opponents for next week, I guess. Last question for you. Of course, we're going to have the G2 Fnatic match tomorrow for the last place at Worlds. Who takes it and why?
I mean, I would be really surprised if Fnatic won this series. I think G2 is just a lot better. And watching how Fnatic played against Misfits, I don't really think they are that strong. So I would expect a 3-0 or 3-1 for G2.
Wow, one-sided series. I guess the fans would be disappointed because we want to have the best fight for this series. But yeah, we'll see about that tomorrow. Humanoid, thank you so much for the interview. Congrats on reaching finals, and we will see you next week.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break now. We'll be back for PGL in a couple minutes with Armut and Mac. Stay tuned.